Now, natural wines are an interesting eco-friendly style because there is no certification and there is no universal definition. However, winemaking philosophies have started to follow this trend of what natural means, which is basically synonymous with minimal intervention. Minimal intervention means that they are trying to focus on the grape, the fruit, and the vineyard more than the winemaker himself or herself. Their focus on the grapes means that they need very high quality fruit from a very healthy vineyard in order to create these wines. So in this natural philosophy, there's a quote that they follow saying, "Nothing added, nothing taken away." Nothing added means that they rely on natural grape sugars developed in the fruit itself. They require native yeast that is ambient in the vineyard, ambient in the cellar, ambient on the fruit. So they are not buying commercial yeast. And that means native yeast is going to be a spontaneous fermentation. And that's actually quite risky because it could stop on its own and not complete fermentation, or it can over ferment and then your wine is a little funky. So when it comes to natural wine, there's a lot of risks involved. So the vineyard itself has to be very healthy in order to have high quality fruit to manage. Now, there may not be a certification that's put on wine labels, but one way you can identify natural wines is that there's likely a sediment in the bottle. So again, this focus on the natural elements of the fruit from a very healthy vineyard is also indicative of their philosophy of not adding any sulfur. And if they do, sometimes just a touch before bottling. The sediment in the bottle is completely harmless. You can drink it, but it's probably not going to taste very good. Now, the sediment is there because a lot of natural winemakers refuse to do any type of filtering or fining, because the philosophy is that if you have too much intervention in the winemaking, then you are stripping the wine of its natural aromas and flavors and characteristics, again, that they're trying to represent for the grape and the region. So by allowing the wine to do its thing, they don't remove the sediment. This is also risky because that sediment, if there's something in the glass before they bottle the wine, or if there's something in that particular set of juice before they bottle it, there could be some type of bacteria in there that can spoil the wine very quickly. So don't be afraid of natural wine. It's actually quite delicious, and yes, there are many risks, and most of the natural wines that are made are meant to be drunk young because of those potential risks that we just talked about. But a pro tip is that they're really good with food pairings because that natural flavor can go really well with foods that aren't over-sauced, or maybe they are. So again, sediment is fine, and it's a key way to identify natural wines on the shelf or maybe at a restaurant. They are completely harmless. And yes, sometimes there might be a little bit of a funky kind of characteristic on the nose when you open that, but generally that blows off as you open the wine and it integrates with the oxygen. So let's test your skills on natty wine.